Today I'm going to install this NMO antenna mount on my old Dodge truck here, Dodge Dakota. I've had this thing for about 15 years, the truck that is, and finally feel it's time to drill a hole in the roof. You can see the paint's peeling off of it. There's plenty of rust on here, so a hole in the roof really isn't going to help anything or hurt anything at this point. This antenna has served me well for pretty much the entire time I've had the truck, but something's gone wrong with it. I'm not sure if it's the antenna or the mount, but since I have a new mount to put on, I'm going to try that first, and if that doesn't solve the problem, then I'll replace the antenna too. I guess I'll start off here by trying to drop the back of the headliner a little bit and see if I can see the roof and see if there's any strengthening ribs or anything like that in the way. And what I'm going to do first is remove that hook that's over there. There's just a screw in it. And then this speaker, which is in the place where the hook on this side would have been. As you can see here, I've got this top console kind of pulled down out of the way. There was just a screw in the front here holding it up, and then I just kind of pulled on it and it popped out of here. I had taken the screws on the back of the headliner off, but I think it's going to be easier to just finish taking this out of the way. And there's just two bolts there that look like they need to come out in order to get this plastic piece out of the way. And once that's out of the way, I'm right there at the center of the roof. So I think that'll be a good place to drill a hole. As you can see here, I've got this plastic plate out from the top of the truck. I ended up having to remove this hook here and the sun visor on this side to allow the headliner to drop far enough. I was able to slide it over here and then work it out. I won't drop the headliner all the way. I just think that that's going to cause more problems than it'll solve. So I guess the next thing I'm going to do is pick a spot here to put a hole. Well, you should be able to see there a little bit of daylight coming through the roof. I've drilled a 3/32 pilot hole and drilled from the inside going out just so that I could get it lined up exactly where I wanted without really having to measure anything. And now what I'll do is open the hole up to 3/8 using this step bit. This will make it easy to get right to the right size and not have to worry about switching drill bits to open the metal without distorting it. And the reason I want to go to 3/8 is because of this mount. You can see that this part comes off. There's a rubber O-ring on there to help seal out the weather, and then a nylon insulator, and you can see this is the post that will protrude through the roof. So, and this needs to be just, there needs to be a 3/8 clearance hole for this. So now I will drill from the top down so that any burrs go inside the truck and don't affect the sealing of this gasket so the water doesn't get in. And just a little note, I've got a piece of tape on here to mark where I need to stop just so that I don't make the hole bigger than I need. Keep going the rest of the way. You can see there, that should clear the antenna mount. Okay, so I'll test fit this in here, and you can see that that fits perfect. You can see there, I've got the antenna mounted up in the hole, and I've got the coax fished under the headliner, around the back window here, and down the molding, down to the carpet, and then under the carpet behind the seat here. And then you can see it pokes up and goes between the seats and then comes out up here with plenty of slack. I usually have a radio mounted in between the seats. Okay, now I'm going to finish assembling the antenna mount here on the truck. Inside I've put a piece of tape to hold this stud through the hole so that when I start pushing on this it doesn't fall back through the truck. So next I'll put the nylon washer on. I'll put that over the stud, and then now this should just thread on over the center stud. And even though I've got tape on there, I want to be a little gentle because I could still push that through. So now that I've got that started, I'll just tighten this as far as I can by hand. And then now I'll use a pair of needle nose to just grab these flats. Okay, and then this is what it looks like inside. That's the piece of tape I had on there. But now that it's all tightened up, everything should be in good shape. Now, you can see, one thing I didn't show, maybe it's not visible, but there are barbs on the end of this support plate that help bite into the paint. But if you were really worried about it, you could scrape off a little bit of the paint on the inside just to make sure this makes a good RF connection. Now that everything's all tightened up and checked, I'll just screw the antenna I have on here. So you can see that in the NMO mount, this center pin will contact the center pin here, and the outer part will contact through the threads. So I'll just get this on here. And that center pin on this is a little spring-loaded so that it makes good contact, so I had to push down a bit. So now I'll just get that on good and tight. And that should do it. Okay, and there's what the antenna looks like up on the center of the roof. Well, now that that's all set, it's time to reassemble the inside of the truck. I won't bother showing that on video, as the point of this video was the antenna installation and not so much the disassembly of the truck interior. Well, that'll just about do it for the installation of this NMO mount. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to leave a comment or subscribe, feel free to do so. Thanks for watching.